to be a good day. But over the last few days, we've had a lot of discussion around higher ethanol blending, and government's push for higher ethanol blending clearly seems to be accelerating. So what is aiding that, and how is ethanol-based, grain-based ethanol manufacturers supporting this kind of environment? To get a sense of that, we are now joined by Mr. Kushal Mittal, Joint MD at BCL Industry, and he, remember, is also the Vice President at All India Distillers Association. Mr. Mittal, afternoon. Thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. Clearly, push for higher ethanol blending seems to be accelerating every single day. Yesterday, we had some comments that came in from the ministers that ethanol will actually be cheaper as compared to the petrol and diesel prices currently. Your take on where this is headed and whether it is accelerating much faster than we expected?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me on your show. So, when it comes to the higher percentage of ethanol, whether E85 and E100, we have to understand that this is only applicable for flex fuel vehicles, for which, just a couple of weeks ago, Maruti launched their brand new Wagoner, which is flex fuel, and Hero 2 launched a bike. So, the move towards flex fuel vehicle and E85 and E100, I think, is a very positive move for the overall rural economy and the industry and India's goal to be Atmanirbhar when it comes to energy. So, but any demand increase on this front will be relatively slow. You will need the vehicles to be launched from various car manufacturers. You will need the infrastructure for dispensing of the E85 and E100. So in my opinion, I think this will at least take a couple of years to properly accelerate. But at the same time, it's a move in the right direction, in my opinion, because the industry is more than ready for this. The farming output is more than ready for this. So I think these are all very, very good moves, and we've already seen E85 being priced at more than 20 rupees as of today's rate, less compared to the E20 petrol price. So I think it's a positive for the entire supply chain and India's rural and urban economy.
Understood. Mr. Mittal, hi, this is Nehi also joining in. Can the grain-based ethanol industry comfortably support both the E20 blending program and the growing E85 ecosystem?
See, both the sugar industry and the grain industry work together. In my opinion, both help in the uh, ethanol policy, and also different farmers benefit from different crops. So I think both the industries will go hand in hand in the future. And as of today and in the coming future, I think the industry is more than ready for this change towards E85 and E100, as there is also already production capacity of close to 2,000 crore liters in the country. And E20 requires about 1,300 odd crore liters. Plus, there is some industrial use for this spirit. Still, there is excess capacity, and I think that would be sufficient for the near future at least.
Okay, and since we're talking about grain ethanol manufacturers in particular, what is the total capacity currently, and now with the government's additional push, how much will the total capacity increase by? Is the industry looking to increase capacity given that the government is now focusing on higher ethanol blending?
See, the grain ethanol capacity is around 15 odd 100 crore liters in the country. And I don't think there's any immediate need for a capacity addition in the country, given that there's already excess capacity, and the rollout of flex fuel vehicles and E85 and E100 will take some time. So for now, I don't think there's any additional capacity required, and uh, whenever required, I think the industry will be more than ready for it.
Okay, and from a sector point of view, Mr. Mittal, how much additional distillation capacity is likely to come up over the next few years, and also could higher ethanol demand encourage fresh investments in the distillery sector?
See, I think the major chunk of capacity expansion, whether greenfield or brownfield in this particular industry, has happened in the last 2 to 3 years. Uh, when talking about 2020, the overall capacity of ethanol from the grain industry used to be around 50 odd crore liters. From there on, it's gone to 1,500. So you've seen a phenomenal boom in the industry. And speaking of today, I think very few plants are being added across the nation. Even the capacity enhancements are relatively low, given the overcapacity in the market in the current times. So again, I think whatever capacity needs to be added will be calculated in the future depending on the adaptivity towards flex fuel vehicles and the demand coming from that front. And only then I think the industry will go towards further capacity enhancement.
We also had some commentary that came in from Hardeep Singh Puri that perhaps ethanol prices will actually be cheaper as compared to the petrol and diesel prices that are prevailing currently. Your thoughts on this and how pricing is expected to evolve for the end consumer?
Yeah, so we've already seen the government launch E85 at rupees 82 rupees per liter, which is, in I think majority of the states more than 20 rupees cheaper than the price of petrol. Because majority of the states the price of petrol is above 102 rupees per liter. So that gives a further incentive for the consumer to adapt towards flex fuel vehicles. The price of flex fuel vehicles is about the same as opposed to a conventional model of the same car. And with the WagonR, we've seen that it's first being launched for commercial use, whether taxi drivers, and I think post that it would be available to an average consumer. And more car brands will be launching flex fuel vehicles in the coming time. So yes, ethanol is priced, E85 is priced cheaper as opposed to petrol, which gives the benefit, which passes on the benefit to the consumer as well.
Understood. On that note, Mr. Mittal, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for putting this entire narrative into perspective for us and giving us a little bit of a snapshot of what we can expect to see in the near future when it comes to the ethanol blending front. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
So viewers, on that note, time to slip into a very short break. Before we do that, just want to mark the fall that we've seen in Nifty Bank. We've now slipped into the red for Nifty Bank. It's 40 points low, a very minute fall, but yes, while the market still continues to hold on to a shade of green, 0.3% higher, 23,930 thereabouts is where we're at Nifty. The Nifty Bank has very nominally slipped into the red, as has been the case with the mid-cap index. So all of those gains that we were seeing about 0.3% higher has fizzled out for the Nifty mid-cap. The small-cap index has seen a little bit of a cut as well, but continues to trade in the green, 0.2% higher. It's the Nifty 100 that's doing well. The India VIX is lower by 5.25%, so 13.6 is where we're at. When it comes to winners and losers, you've got Nifty Metal, PSU Banks, Pharma, Auto, with now Nifty Bank and Defence also slipping into the red. And on the flip side, Realty, Media, FMCG, IT, they continue to lead from the front. On that note, time to slip into a very short break. More news and updates to follow on the other side.